Hello there everybody. So today we are making a simple, easy to make and a comfortable to wear shirt dress. So this is the fabric that I'll be using today. So I bought about 3 meters of this fabric. So as you can see that I've already folded my fabric. So I folded the fabric in a way that the folded part fits a quarter of my hip circumference. Okay, so I'll be using my hip measurement to make this dress. Okay, so the other thing I'll be using is my basic bodice pattern. Okay, so if you don't already have the pattern, I have the video here on my channel of how to make the basic bodice pattern. So what I'll do now is that I'll go on and place my pattern on the fabric and pin it so that I can start drafting my dress. And then after that, I'll go on and take the length of the dress. So I'll go on and place my tape measure from the highest point of the shoulder down. So I'll make my dress 105 centimeters, okay? And then I'll make a mark to mark the length of my dress. And then after that, I'll come here to the upper bust line and place a quarter of my hip circumference. Okay, hip circumference, I'll place it here. So remember when you measure your hip circumference to add ease. So I added about 2 centimeters of ease on my hip circumference. And then I'll come here at the bottom where I made a mark of the length of the dress, and then I'll place the same measurement, a quarter of my hip circumference. Okay, I'll place it here. So I'm using my hip circumference measurement because my hip area is the widest part of my body. So if your bust maybe is the widest part of your body, then you will be using your bust measurement here. Okay, and now I'll come here on the armhole and mark my half mark. Okay, so if you can still see your half mark on your pattern, you can just go on and mark it here on the fabric now next to the one on your pattern. So and then after that, I'll just go on and make the new armhole. Okay, so I'll just take it from the shoulder and connect to the half mark that I just made on the fabric, and then down to the dot on the upper bust measurement where we placed a quarter of the hip circumference. Okay, so don't mind the second dot there, just use your original dot that you made for the quarter of your hip circumference. And then after that, I'll go on and trace the shoulder and the neckline. And then after that, you go on and connect the upper bust and the length of the dress. If you have the long ruler, you can use it so that you keep your line nice and straight. There should be no curves here. It should be just a straight line. Okay, and then after that, I'll just go on and add seam allowance, and then I'll just cut. And now we come to the back. So I'll be doing the same thing with the back, but here now at the center back, I am leaving 2 centimeters for the opening at the back. Okay, so the dress will have an opening of the back. I'll install a button so that I'm able to take my dress on and off with ease. Okay. And so here I am making sure that I am taking down the 2 centimeters. Okay, so the 2 centimeters must be from the top down to the bottom, so that when I measure the hip circumference at the bottom, I start from the 2 centimeter mark. Okay, so that means I leave this I don't count the 2 centimeters. I start after the 2 centimeter mark to make my the measurement, my hip circumference measurement there at the bottom. Okay. And now we move on to the sleeves. So I'll be using my basic sleeve pattern. So what I'll do here is that I'll just go on and add 4 centimeters on the sides so that my sleeve can fit on my dress. So 4 centimeters this side and 4 centimeters on the other side. So, and then after that I'll go on and add a seam allowance. Okay. And now here we are. So I've put together the back pieces, okay? So, and then I also went on and left an opening here on top so that I can be able to have that opening that will have a button. So the length of the opening is 20 centimeters, okay? So this is how it looks now. So this is the back, this is the back piece. So what I will do now is that I'll go on and attach the two pieces, the front and the back. So I'll go on and match the shoulders so that I can be able to stitch the shoulders to put the two pieces together. So as you can see, as I'm doing here, and I'm trying to match the shoulders, so I'll just go on to the machine and stitch. And now here we are after stitching the shoulders. So the next thing now is to go on and attach the sleeves. Okay, so you can just go on and watch and see how I attach the sleeves. Okay. So the important thing here is to make sure that the back of the sleeve, so I've marked mine here, it goes to the back of the dress, okay? And then the center part of the sleeve matches the shoulder seam, which is the center now of the sleeve of the dress. Okay, and then after that I just go on all around and pin, make sure that I fit my sleeve nicely, and then after that I take it to the machine to stitch it. And now this is how it looks after stitching. So the sleeves are attached now. So I also went on and closed the side seams. Okay, so I closed the sides. So now it is a dress. So the next thing now is to finish up the neckline, the sleeves, and the hem. So I went on and cut out 2 pieces of bias binding so that I can be able to finish up my neckline. So the width of the 2 pieces is about 2.5 centimeters to 3 centimeters. So I'll put these 2 pieces together to make one piece, and then I'll just go on and attach it on the neckline. And now here we are after attaching the bias binding on the neckline. So what I'll do now is that I'll go on and trim the seam allowance, okay, and make it a kind of short so that I can be able to fold in the bias binding to finish up the neckline. And now here we are after trimming the seam allowance. So what I'll do is that I'll go on and fold in the bias binding. So as I fold the bias binding, I also hide the raw edges of the bias binding. Okay. And now here we are after stitching and finishing the neckline. So this is how it looks now. So I have stitched the corner, I have stitched closed the right hand corner. So this side, the right hand side, is the one that I'll be attaching a button, and this side I left a small opening here so that I can be able to attach my button loop underneath. Okay, so this side is the one that I'll be attaching my button. Okay, so it will be like this, and then this other side I'll be attaching my button loop. So I will use this small piece of bias binding. So what I'll do, I'll just go on and double fold it. I'll fold it once, fold it twice, and then I will stitch on the fold, and that will be my button loop. So I'll just go on and cut the excess fabric after stitching. Okay,